First story: The Strange Woman. One day we moved to live in a new house due to the change in the nature of my husband's work. The new house was very beautiful, spacious and furnished in the latest style. I was sure that we would be happy to live in it, but I noticed something strange about my little daughter, who is not yet 1 year old, when she cries as usual, and every newborn usually immediately breaks her cry with loud laughter. As soon as I approached her bedroom, I heard a beautiful voice singing to her, so my daughter started laughing loudly as she does. Her skin as well as her hair, I got closer to recognize her facial features, but she disappeared in a blink of an eye. My whole body froze from what I saw. I immediately told my husband what happened and we left the house, but my daughter still laughed loudly during the second story/session to expel ghosts. This story is told by a 16-year-old girl. I was young and playing with our neighbor's son, when suddenly we heard the voice of his older sister screaming a lot in pain. So we hurried together to find out what was wrong with her. And it's scary. What happened that day I can never forget, and despite all those years have passed, I still remember it as if it happened yesterday. The girl suddenly changed, and her voice became like that of an old man. She yelled at the man and everyone in the room. She stood up once in a way that terrified us all. She walked until the middle of the room. Then she raised her foot and stood on only one. She tilted her head back until she touched the ground under her, and she was still standing. On one foot, she continued in this position for a long time after the cleric and her family failed in their attempts to change her position, and then the girl fell alone on the ground, unconscious. When she regained consciousness, we asked her many questions about what she had done, but she did not remember anything. The third story. A true story with every word in it. One day the sky was raining heavily and the wind was blowing from everywhere and it was very cold. In this deadly weather a strange man was walking in a city, and he still walks that man, wishing for a shelter for him where he feels warm and with a few bites that fill his hunger. And at the first house he found a knock on his door, and when with a man answering from the window of the house. Homeowner: who's the knocker? The stranger: I am a strange man, and I ask you for hospitality. The man immediately opened his house, entered the stranger and seated him near the fireplace. As he brought him a jacket to warm him more, he prepared the most delicious food for his hospitality, and after the stranger finished eating his food, the owner of the house prepared each of them a warm cup of tea. The stranger found warmth, safety and psychological comfort with that the house in which he found no one but his owner and a dog with him. There was no wife, no children, not even a servant. And the next morning the stranger woke up and left early so as not to burden her with the owner of the house. The first time the owner of the house woke up, he prepared breakfast and went to wake the stranger, but he did not find him. A week after that incident, the owner of the house went to one of the art exhibitions with his friends, and in the exhibition his eyes fell on a painting drawn by the same strange person who requested his hospitality. The owner of the painting has been dead for 50 years, and with his insistence on his opinion, his friend who knows the location of his grave took him and they all went to him, and there was the surprise that amazed them all, and they found the shirt of the owner of the house that he gave to the stranger on his grave. Do not forget to support the channel by subscribing to receive all new